My name is Kateryna Odarchenko, and today we will discuss theme how to work with international media, and it's very important theme for persons and for political forces, for leaders who work also in CIS countries, in Europe, and who interested in goodwill in international media, and to work with some international think tanks, to work with international leaders, and to be ready for some conditions to work in a new type of communications. So it's a really huge problem to communicate for persons from CIS countries, so Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, Moldova, also sometimes Lithuania, to work with international media. Why? Because persons from this country understand that you write articles, so your office writes some article. It's not very interesting, but you want to post this article in, for example, here in Washington Post or in The Economist, or to do some video on CNN or CNBC, and you want to buy part of newspaper. It's not the right way, because here in United States, and also when you work with big media holdings in Europe or with big news agencies, for them very important to work with their readers. So your material about your problem, your crisis, or your opinion must be interesting for persons who read this type of media. So firstly, you must understand your aim and you must understand your story. For example, if you have some crisis situation, so you have conflict between position of one political force and position of other political force, and you want to share this information and share this position with international community, you mustn't write about this situation in your way. You must communicate with professional political consultant or with chief editor, but usually chief editors work not directly with clients, they work with some persons who work in consulting or PR to do this story. So firstly, if you understand your aim and if you have good analytics about your situation and you have good resonance materials, it will be a very good article. So second step of working with your material is working directly with some journalist or editor who write this material for you. It's not a process of one day, so if you want to have good story, you must work from 2 weeks on this story to 1 month to do, for example, pooling, to do some expert interview about your situation, to find some actual thing for readers of this newspaper and your history, so connect these two situations and to do your article very actual for this time, for this article, for this newspaper or for this media. It's also very important. And after period, for example, for 2 weeks or 1 month, you show your article to client or to leader of political force, and we discuss when we will publish this article. And of course you can be very actual if you for example Hillary Clinton and if you Donald Trump, but if you not popular leader from some countries, of course it's a contract variant of working with editorial team, so it's some payments for editorial team, like for advertising, to do your theme in this media. But one more time, it's possible. So it's possible to work with media in Europe and to work with top media in United States, but you must work very carefully because you're also interested in position of readers of this newspaper, and you interested in point of view in media monitoring of case stakeholders. If, for example, you want to do some influence to cabinet of president or to some senator or so on and so forth. And also you have one more tactics to work with such type of goodwill and such type of informational campaigning, and to inform about your work or about your crisis, or which you want to show to international community. It's working with think tanks. So think tanks is analytical centers. Here it's more than 50 powerful think tanks. Also in Europe it's more than 50 powerful think tanks. In these countries it's quite its lowest number of think tanks, because it's low. It's called some institutes or analytical centers or so on and so forth. But you can organize some event and invite key stakeholders and key journalists to this event in think tank. For example, you can organize a meeting about your problem in Atlantic Council or in Hudson or in some other platform which have good quoting and which have good connections with media. But of course your team must be interested and must be in same ideology which this think tank works. And you also can organize good PR event in press clubs or in news agency in Brussels or in Vienna or here in Washington or in New York. It's connect with them which you work with, but it's also very good when you have possibility to invite journalists and to invite interesting speakers to your press conference. But it's also possible, and these opportunities, it's not so expensive like some clients think. And after this press conference, you also must brief key medias, and you must have discussion with them why your term is very actual for international community. Because, for example, some corruption scandal in your country can be connected with international money and can be really very actual for readers of Washington Post, which pay taxes for this credit for your country. So in this way you can also take some free publications in top media, and it's also a good type of international media work. So it's main steps and it's main accents which I want to discuss with you. Thank you.